Record.
Hey toy family, welcome to the Marsham Toy Hour, where we discuss anything and everything designer toys. I'm Gary Ham, and joining us is our spicy new co-host. He's a beefy burrito of manhood, Carlos East.
And also joining us tonight, it's the men of the many beards, the men of the many foods inside the beards, George Gaspar.
And also joining us tonight, an award-winning filmmaker, Jack Venturo.
Whoa.
Whoa!
We have an award winner. That's crazy.
No, hold on. You're an award winner, right? Too, Gary? The Toy Awards?
I guess technically, but it sounds a lot cooler when someone else has an award-winning title.
From something that is like a real job, like movies.
A real job.
Reading Jack as an award-winning filmographer, sounds super cool.
I like filmographer. That's
I don't even know if that's a word, but
it is now.
It is now.
That's
Word
right.
slinging.
A filmographer wears a brown leather coat with elbow patches and shoulder pads,
Like
and
bitnik,
has a lot of glass tube wear tools.
like a little French little hat, one of those burro hats. Yeah. Oh,
I could have added to that too. I could have said like master dioramist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
could
also
add that to it.
Yeah.
Dude, your dioramas are killer, man.
I thank you, sir.
We're gonna have to get into all that tonight.
How about that
Yeah.
voice? He's got a nice, like, sexy, smooth jazz voice, too.
It's because of the cold. I have a little bit of a fluish symptoms going on, and I hit the Zycam a day late.
I think Gary's got a new man crush coming in.
Dude, Man Crush. This week's Man Crush has been brought to you by
Lots of competition
Beard oil.
out there.
There's a lot of competition, man.
I'll have to make a 2017 list of my man crushes for the year and then narrow it down.
You gotta always have Zac Efron in there.
Zac
can
Efron.
always- Not enough Zac Efron. What's going on with his career, man?
What are you
doing,
talking about?
Zac?
He's doing great. He's doing Baywatch with The Rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
hilarious.
serious?
You got to see the trailer. It looks great.
I have not seen that. I'll check it out.
That's what I'm talking about right now. That's what I'm bringing to this
That's
show.
your leak and sneak peek.
That's it. The Baywatch revival of The Rock, Zac Efron,
God.
Wow.
and Alexandra Daddario.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that for real?
Yes, and it looks funny. The trailer looks funny, and actually, David Hasselhoff is going to play a cameo in there.
Oh, nice.
Now, is
So I
this a
just
movie
spoiled
or is it
alert.
a show?
It's a movie.
See, yeah, if they can go like Dukes of Hazzard jokey style with it, that's
yeah,
gonna be
it's
awesome.
like Dukes of Hazzard is going to be like
21 Jump
Jump
Street?
Street.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I gotta check out this trailer. But before I do that, how about we jump to leaks and sneak peeks? Jack, if you're not familiar with the show, what this segment is, we kind of just come to the recording with a little something that we saw on social media this week that we want to share with our listeners. Being our guest this evening, is there anything that you would like to share?
I think you
Hey,
just
watch
did.
trailer.
All right, Spicy Burrito, how about you go next?
I was browsing the internet and I saw these little resin mini corgis by an artist called Eric Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never seen his work, but these fellas are really cool. They're like you can catch them at Toys R Evil there, and they're really cool. They come in rainbow color.
Yep.
Super nice to customize and paint.
So they're like solid casted resin, unpainted, I think,
Yeah.
right? In an array of colors.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The price they're $10, and you can find them at their at his website, which is Eric Noah at Big Cartel.
Nice.
You can find it at Toys R Evil.
Mm-hmm.
$10. Yeah,
Dude,
pretty cool.
that's a great price.
Yeah,
Nothing's under $20 anymore unless it's a pin. So that's cool.
Yeah, right. Pens, or 2017 is gonna be the year of the pennant.
That's right. And foam fingers.
Foam fingers. Let's do it.
And apparently, maybe some smash pennies. We'll see.
Smash pennies.
All right, George, what you got?
I haven't had a chance to really browse much this week, but I'm working in a studio right now. And if you remember last week, I mentioned my buddy Dan is the Ninja Turtle expert.
Yep.
And he just got the new NECA. I think they must be 24-inch. They're 18 or 24-inch movie turtles. The first one came out. It's Donatello, I believe, was the first one, and he is raving about it. So I'm gonna go on his word and say to check out the NECA movie turtle figure. It's the first of the series. It's out now, and he says it's amazing.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
I don't know where to lead with that.
I think we should go to yours, Gary.
Yeah.
I'll
What
just
about
say,
yours?
I
Lucy?
opened up Instagram this morning, and I had like a little bit of a deja vu moment. So I opened my feed, and it says I have a tag from Kid Robot. I'm like, cool. So I check it out, and it says, first look at the DTA Dunny Artist Series set to release in May. And I'm thinking, wasn't this leaked a few weeks ago?
Yeah. Well, maybe it was
It's like the 5th or 6th or 20th look.
Probably it was one of those things that they send to stores, like the previews of the stuff, so they can buy it, and they leak it. So probably it's the official announcement rather than people freaking showing what they shouldn't be showing just to be cool.
Oh, is that how that picture got out? Was it?
Yeah, because if you look at it, it's super low res, and usually the people that have accounts like wholesale accounts get the preview of the stuff that is going to come out so they can buy it. But I think that's what happened, because if you look at the photo that they posted now, it's it's better than the one that was posted before.
Yeah, because when that came out, it seemed like it was kind of everywhere. It was on Facebook, Instagram. It was being shared around a lot like 3 weeks ago. But I never really noticed that Kid Robot never actually shared it. Yeah, neither did Clutter or
of course not
the DTA. So I went back and checked today, and sure enough, yeah. So today was the official mentioning of the DTA Dunny series, and it appears that there's several stores have begun taking pre-orders on cases for it, and one of them happens to be our very own sponsor, Strange Cat Toys. So if you're looking to pick up a case of the DTA Dunny series, head over to strangeCatToys.com, and because you're listening to the Marsham Toy Hour, use the code Marsham at checkout to receive 10% off your order.
Dang.
How about that?
Snazzy.
So now when does that come out then? May? Okay, so that's not too far off.
It better be May.
Oh, nice.
And something else that I saw this week, one Ben Goretzky let the trailer out of the bag about a weekly video podcast show called ToyGeeks Behind the Counter to begin airing on Tuesday, January 17th. The news came via a short but very funny trailer where we learned that the hosts of this new show are to be Ben, our very own George Gaspar, and our guest, Jack Venturo.
Wow.
I gotta say, George, you did a solid bit of acting in that little clip there.
Pretty badass.
See?
I can't say the same for Ben.
Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. I love that commercial.
That's nice, man. That's good.
Good.
I wish Ben were here, because then I could tell him what my friend said about him, and that he looked like a live action cartoon.
Yes.
He does, dude. Yeah. Or like a mixture with a live action cartoon with a puppet. Like the puppet and the cartoon had a baby, and boom, daddy likes.
At the end, when we miss the high five and then spin around and run away, it looks like we're marionettes. Just I got no strings to hold me. Like it's just all like, wired up and weird.
That movie, Team America.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. There should be an episode like that. Let's make some puppets, and
Oh, that can happen.
I know that can happen. That's what I'm putting out there.
Yeah. Just we can have puppets made of all three of us and just do that.
Yeah.
And I'll perform them all.
I want to talk more about that show, but before we get to that, this announcement of the new Behind the Counter weekly show, this has kind of stirred up some controversy and rumors that this could mean the end of Toy Break. George, do you care to maybe clear up some of those rumors?
Any comment?
As far as I know, Toy Break is still a continuing show. Episode 400 says that they are taking a break. Toy Break is taking a break.
They are
coming back in 2017 in a new format. I have no idea what the format is. Toy Break is Eileen's show, and she is continuing it. So I can't. You will have to have her on as a guest if you'd like to know more, because I don't know anything about it.
And that's pretty much all we know. Yeah.
I knew the listeners were going to expect us to have... Actually, I received several texts this week expecting that I would have some sort of insider information on what's going on. I'm like, no, I don't know anything, but I'll bring it up on the show.
Well, I like George said, it's like, there is a lot of talk about that stuff, and we were talking a little bit before about toy vlogs online and everything, and there's so many. I mean, if you Google, you go on YouTube and you search toy review, I mean, there's one that this like 5-year-old does. It's like there's so many of them, and there's definitely room for one more. So that's Toy Geeks, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we're just moving on with our thing as if we just don't know any better,
because we don't know any better.
I think there was a little bit of a hidden message in George's segment. I don't know if that's the case at all, but when I saw that, like, you're sitting on the sofa and you're asked by Ben, "Are you doing anything?" And you kind of look at the Toy Break sofa and you're like, "Nope, nothing going on." And then as you left, you flipped the table, and like hashtag table flip is like is a thing.
I think it's just I think it happened by accident. I don't know. It's just a gentleman's way of just saying goodbye to the set, I guess.
Exactly.
Aren't you moving?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be moving.
There you go.
So this is. But I don't. You can read into it however you want. That's just my apartment. That's where I live. That's my couch. So I don't know if you want to read into it however you want to read into it. That's your own thing.
Yeah. But
because I'm sure you normally sit in front of your sofa with this oddly
weird
tall table.
I love that table. Are you kidding me? It's where I do all my eating.
That's where I do my eating.
Apparently, you've never been to his apartment. It's literally that couch, that table, a TV, and a bathroom, and that's it.
Yeah, and a room full of boxes full of toys.
Yeah, underneath the table is his bed. There's literally no other room.
Do you remember Sesame Street, like the Oscar the Grouch?
That's
inside of the trash can.
Couch Grouch.
That's inside of the, like, if you peek inside of the trash can, that's what it is. Like that couch full of toys.
You literally cannot get up off the couch without tipping the table over. There's no room.
Yep. That's what happened. Like,
we can auction this couch off if we want on the Marsham Toy Show.
There you go.
It's not going with me. So if anyone wants to buy this couch, just let me know.
That is a gross thing to do.
I won't even vacuum it. It'll be full of all the Toy Break germs.
All the DNA galore.
There might be a minifigure stuffed in there somewhere, I'm sure.
That'd be something. Put a figure inside each cushion and just like, it could be anything. It's a blind couch.
It's a blind couch.
So yeah, the new show.
Yeah, let's get into that. So who wants to tell us a little more about it?
I think Jack should. He's good at talking about it.
I like to hear myself talk, especially with this awesome voice because of my flu. Toy Geeks behind the counter. So Toy Geeks, basically, Ben's idea of Toy Geeks is that it's going to be a network of different shows coming together. So basically, it's everything that we all love about toys and art and all of that stuff in one website. You sit down in front of your computer and you basically just never leave, and you watch a bunch of different shows from a bunch of different people. So our show is Behind the Counter. We're going to be doing so many different things that you've actually never seen before in a toy review show. Getting people involved and getting more artists involved and doing challenges and a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't want to give too much away because the trailer is out right now. The first episode is on the 17th. And little by little, we are releasing some teasers and images and things on Instagram, on Twitter, just to kind of wet your beak a little bit. But we're going to have a fun time. It's going to be, the show is basically, we're the middleman between the toy world and you. So the show is for the people, for you, and we're having fun doing it, and that's all there is to it.
And don't forget, the easiest way, just so we can get this right off the top, it's Toy Geeks BTC on Instagram. Is it the same on Twitter?
It's the same on Twitter, and it's the same on Facebook.
And then you should also, if you're listening to this, you should go and subscribe on YouTube to
Yes.
the Toy Geeks channel, like
counter.
whatever you call it on there, the page on there.
Yeah, so the ToyGeeks channel doesn't have a name yet. We're still editing that, and then there's like an approval process and all that because we're new. But all you have to do is just search ToyGeeks, and the trailer will come up, the channel will come up. Or you can hashtag search because that's all over the place too. Everything is ToyGeeks BTC all over the place. Or just go to the website and all the links are on the top too.
Yeah, and so it's important to subscribe to the channel, not only for it helps the show, it'll help us get noticed more on YouTube. The more subscribers you get, that kind of thing. But also so that you don't miss an episode, because it'll come up in your feed if you're a YouTube user, it comes up in your main feeds when new things come up. So you should definitely subscribe to the show on there.
Yeah, and we're planning to release it every Monday. So every Monday the show will be released on YouTube, and it'll be released on Facebook as well. But like you said, when you do subscribe on YouTube, you get the notifications and you're more aware of everything. And there's actually going to be exclusive content on YouTube and different things on Facebook and different things on Instagram. So if you're really into it, just follow everything everywhere.
Yeah, sounds cool. And you mentioned it's going to be a network. So is this kind of like a Smodcast in the fact that you're just going to have several shows, but they're all going to have a focus on toys?
I think that's the idea. It's just anything that has to do with toys, because not just toy reviews, so either toy artists or maybe even like plush and apparel and all that kind of stuff. It's basically
like unboxing type videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hopefully not even just toys. I mean, Kevin is really into sneakers, so hopefully maybe one day he'll get into doing a sneaker type thing, because it's a collector's market. It's the sneaker thing. So it doesn't have to just specifically be toys. It's anything that the people like us who are into toys. It's all the stuff that we're into. There could definitely be a show at some point down the road about music or movies or things like that. Like it'll eventually broaden out to that kind of stuff. We're starting with behind the counter is the first one, so hopefully it'll grow from there, and it could eventually be a bunch of stuff. It doesn't just have to be toys.
Right. It'd be like, it's basically like Designer Con if Designer Con had a show.
There you go.
Everything thrown out. Yeah.
That's the easier way to understand it, because there's
That's a
like
great description.
Designer Con and a network and a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how long are we talking about? Because I know doing a weekly show, it's a lot of work, and you guys sound like you're going to be doing a little higher production value with editing and whatnot. Like, how long do you guys expect each episode to be?
We're aiming to be a 30-minute episode, and just to be consistent on that. And we are doing every week, and we have talked about maybe doing a little hiatus or end of season thing. We actually have all the episodes are being loaded to IMDb as well, so each episode gets a title, and we do have seasons as well, so it keeps it all organized. And so we do want to maybe have some kind of break in there, and we're thinking that maybe around Designer Con will probably be like a season finale kind of show where we review Designer Con, and then take a little break there for the holidays and start back up maybe in next year. We still have to discuss that part, or maybe a mid-season hiatus, something like that. But so far we just can't wait to get started and just be on there every week.
I'm super excited for it. I'm pumped. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. And what do you guys think? Should Marsham Toy Hour sponsor it?
Yes.
Why not?
I would say I am yeah.
Cup it up.
3D Retro sponsors us. We might as well return the favor and bring all 2 of our followers over there.
Your 2 followers are already your 2 co-hosts, Gary.
Yeah, George and I.
I actually just started following you right now.
No, we're up to 3. Woohoo!
We gained 1. Woo!
That reminds me, Crispy Chong, he was on the previous episode, and he was just telling me that this week he received a bunch of new followers from being, on that episode. And I was like, how many new followers did you get? And he texted back, 1.
Oh,
jerk.
Oh, that's better than none.
Yeah, 1's better than none. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was me.
That's funny. Since we're talking about all of our, vast amount of followers, let's just go ahead and let everyone know about our sponsors. We already kind of touched on StrangeCatToys.com. Be sure to use that promo code Marsham at checkout to receive 10% off your order. And there is also 3DRetro.com we were just talking about. So check out 3DRetro.com for all your designer toy needs. And we have printsonwood.com. So if you have any artwork or photography that you would like to see printed on beautiful, sustainable wood, check out what Prints on Wood can offer you. They do amazing work over there. They can work in a large variety of sizes. They work with a lot of extremely talented and high-profile artists to do limited edition runs for them. So just check it out, printsonwood.com. And let's get back to it. When you guys talk about I saw you guys are going to have like artists on the show. Is it going to be primarily West Coast artists who actually be in attendance, or do you see yourself doing any sort of satellite stuff?
Maybe a green screen?
Ooh, green screen.
Green screen. You guys just want to add more work to me. That's just amazing.
That's
CGI.
I just want more workload. Like Ben was like, "Hey, maybe we can do a blooper reel." Like, no, you do a blooper reel. Like, what is this?
I told Ben
What's
that
happening
if he
here?
needs help editing and shit, I can help you guys. I know how to do that crap.
No,
So-
you're taking over. You're hired. Here's
Whoa,
the
whoa,
computer.
whoa, hold up.
Get out of here.
I want to get committal from George and Carlos right now before the other show blows up. You guys are still going to remain on the Marsham Toy Hour, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I can handle any more rejection.
Talking the shit with the guys.
Yeah.
Good.
It's cool. I'm excited for it. I thought the trailer was funny, too. I like that you guys released the announcement with a trailer like that, because it kind of went viral in our little toy scene, too. So that was really cool.
In our little world.
In our
And there's puppets.
And there's puppets. Can we have puppets? I love that part.
And who was the person in the trash can with the puppet? Come on, who was that?
That's me.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puppetry is not a luxurious work.
No.
Taking one for the team, man.
Yeah, you got to get into small places.
Yeah.
Are you an award-winning puppeteer?
Not yet. No.
Technically, yes. I would say yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Your film, your puppet film, you won an award.
All right. There you go. Yeah.
I would say yes, even if you're not going to tout it that way.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. The Jim Henson Company was doing last year a diversity workshop training, and they released a statement. They were looking for people to audition, and I auditioned, and I was one of the 35 of us that got picked, and we went on an 8-week puppetry workshop, an improv workshop.
Nice.
And it was friggin' magical. So we got to learn everything there. The beginning of this year, they separate from that, they had a Dark Crystal fan film competition for anybody to join, and of course I had to do it. I found out a little bit late about it, so I had a 1 month to do it. But I built 3 puppets from scratch. I wrote it, went out into the forest, filmed it, voiced it, performed it, edited it, submitted it, and then I got picked one of the 5 runner-ups that won the trip to the Jim Henson lot and the tour and going to the feature shop and all that stuff. So that was really, really cool.
Wow, that's amazing. Where can we see that?
That's actually it's on the Jim Henson's official YouTube channel. So it's really cool because if you like the Dark Crystal, they have. So only 5 of them got picked as runner-up, and then there's the grand prize winner. But there's like 30 films in there. So if you go on the Jim Henson YouTube channel, there's a Dark Crystal playlist, and you can just sit there and enjoy prequels and sequels and in between scenes of the Dark Crystal made by fans, which is just awesome to do.
Wow.
Yeah, all the movies are there. So my movie's called Acosta, The Salvation of Thra. And you can see that. Or you can just go to my website for VenturaProductions.com, and it's in there too under projects because I made it. So there you go.
That's a good place.
This is not the Jim Henson's Creature Shop that was on the Sci-Fi Channel, right?
No, that's the Creature Shop Challenge. So that was a totally different thing. Yeah, this was just for fans. Anybody could have entered, and anybody just entered the contest.
Nice. Congrats on that, though. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Pretty badass.
It was good. And I actually brought the puppets that I made to DesignerCon in November. So I had them for display, and I even put some on and performed them a little bit for people there too. So that was kind of cool.
That's pretty bad. Really rad. And I saw in DesignerCon, you killed it with your dioramas, dude.
Oh man, it was crazy year this year.
It is pretty awesome. Like all the people from Tested were like head over heels. I mean, they're pretty awesome. Like, do you want to talk about that?
No. It's so jackorama.com is the diorama side of it. It's the art side of it. So I take an action figure and I build a scene for that figure, and I put the figure where it belongs, and that's basically it. So
like a little set.
Okay.
yeah, it could be a made out of wood, a wooden box, or it's just a piece of flat wood and it's a standalone piece, or it could be a tower. There's different sizes, different shapes, but it's if you go to the website jackorama.com or Instagram or whatever, you can see all the pictures of everything. I made like a 4-foot long Walking Dead one in 2013, and the Walking Dead production offices bought it.
Wow,
Nice.
And you know, I had to deliver it there, and it was really cool. I have also my own personal collection, so I have like a 4-foot long Lord of the Rings one, and the Star Wars Cantina with the lights and the music
I saw that
and
one.
all that stuff. So, and yeah, but for DCon, I do make special pieces for DesignerCon, because I'm basically exclusive to DesignerCon. I can't really go to anywhere else because it takes so long to make them.
Yeah.
So it takes about a year to fill up that booth. So there's no way like, hey, you're going to this place in March and this place in June. Like, no, you know.
Nah.
And my pieces do sell, and they are priced to sell. So they are affordable. They go from anywhere from $10 to $1,000. Just everywhere in between.
The prices were really good. I mean, the bigger ones, I remember the Cantina one was a little more expensive, but they had like all these figures and it was really well built. I mean, you working in making movies and all that stuff, you have that sense of like, you know, building a set, you know?
Right, and most of the time it's building them based on the movie. So like
exactly
seeing, like, for example, the one I had this year that sold, I shipped it to Chicago, was the Jabba's Palace, and that one was another 4-foot long one. Now they're not all 4 foot long. There's some are 1 foot, some are 2 inches. They're all different sizes, but that one had lights and it had everything, you know, completely detailed. But it's all based. That one I actually used like the blueprints from Lucasfilms that they used to make the real Jabba's Palace, and I just kind of shrunk them down to size. So I did use like a movie set plan, you know, and then like I did the Rogue One diorama that's based on the trailer, like scenes from the trailer, which are not in the movie now because they cut them. So now it's, you know, I'm all mad about it. Hopefully the guy that bought it is okay with it. But so yeah, everything's based on the movies. Like I have a Breaking Bad and Heisenberg is standing there in front of the RV. You know, it's just, I have fun with it. You know, I like to have my figures like out. I like to like open them and smell them and play with them and pose them and then get them dirty. And I do customize them too. Like a lot of times I'll add more paint or different
weathering.
Paint. Oh yeah, weathering, or you know, like I had another piece, that Walking Dead one, and the figure came with a hat, you know, but the scene that I wanted him, he's not wearing the hat, but the figure that you buy without the hat is like $100. So I just took his hat off and resculpted his head, and there you go, you know. So
yeah,
anything can happen. You'll see anything in there.
I think one of my favorite ones from Decon was probably the Predator scene, where you had set up the Predator lifting Arnold up by the throat in the forest, and that was it was like a very simple one. It was like one of the smaller ones, you know. It was only like probably like a foot by foot kind of thing.
Yep, exactly,
and it was but it was like such a great little, it's like an iconic scene of that specific, you know, that specific scene from the movies. It was just cool to see it, you know, portrayed, and it's something I would never have done. Like if I had those action figures, they would just be standing next to each other on a shelf.
Right.
So it's cool to get them in that scene, you know, with the trees around them and the whole forest there and everything. And he's actually up off the air, like in the, you know, his arm is, you know, holding the other dude up. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're all glued into that pose too. Like the alien one, there's 2 aliens and the General Hicks, I think, in the middle, and they're in the middle of just this battle, and he shoots him in the head, and his head is exploded, and there's another alien behind him about to attack him, and he doesn't know, and so it's like a whole story going on, and literally the Predator ones, I did have them on my shelf standing next to each other, and I was like, God, I wish I could put him on top of him, and you know, and there's no way to do it, and so I just make the diorama, like that's how it belongs, you know.
Yeah.
How did you first get into making these? Like, how did you first start? Or like, what inspired the first one you were making?
I had a bookshelf in my room, and it was full of toys because I didn't have many books, and so they were just a bunch of toys standing there. And then I actually made some styrofoam bleachers so that the action figures could stand up behind each other, so that they're not hiding each other. And then I was like, I don't have to be bleachers. I'll make like, foam walls and stuff. And then I actually had with the Wizard of Oz action figures that I got as a gift. And Wizard of Oz is my favorite movie of all time. And I actually made that diorama first. And I put it inside the bookshelf like a permanent display, embedded into the bookshelf. And I still have that. I actually still have my bookshelf. And inside of it, I have Planet of the Apes, Wizard of Oz, The Matrix, Terminator, and the Battle of Endor, and that's just one giant bookshelf. It's all of it is just plastered into it, permanent.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome. That's got to be a heavy ass bookshelf.
Yeah.
Oh, I've moved it many times because I've had that since I was 16, I think. So from Florida to here, cross country, like in a big old U-Haul truck, and it's been banged up. I've had to do a lot of repairs on it.
Oh, so you've been making these since you were young?
So yeah, 15 was like my first diorama, the Wizard of Oz one.
Nice.
Wow.
Now, I think I saw a photo. You were actually making the Cantina one when you were like 17.
I did. I made a Cantina one. And that was like back in the day, when you had to like pause VHS to look at a picture.
To look at this stuff. No good internet.
Yeah, and you had to fix the tracking so the little lines.
Oh my
wouldn't
God,
move.
Yeah.
tracking! I remember that. Yep.
The tracking button, and then you had to like clean it and make sure. And so that's how I built that diorama. And I hated it. Like I wasn't happy with it because it's not like my best. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be my best.
Spoiler alert, we're over 30.
We're so old.
I know, it's awful.
Spoiler
In 2014, I wrecked it. I completely destroyed it and rebuilt it, and that's the
Nice.
Cantina that I have now.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to do it.
I love the Breaking Bad one. A funny story. I was in New Mexico, driving around with some friends. We went to the Stranger Factory show, and we were driving around, and we saw a camper van, and we're like, "Oh, that looks like the Breaking Bad," and it actually was.
Oh wow!
The Breaking Bad camper with the bullets on the door, and it was parked in the parking lot of the car wash, like they used to do in their.
That's amazing. See, I love that. I love when you go to a movie set or something like that, and it's like, yes, this is the place where this was filmed. Take a picture.
Yeah. And
It's
actually,
I go to I go to like the Poltergeist house, and they're like, "Get out of here!" And it's like,
Yeah.
"Don't move into the Poltergeist house if you don't want this to happen to you."
yeah.
Yeah, the Breaking Bad house, they don't like it either.
They don't.
No,
because
people
kept throwing pizzas up on the
Yeah,
roof.
people started throwing pizzas. I went to all the places. I mean, if you're familiar with the show that you're listening, Jesse's house and the place where the girlfriend died, and then the swimming
Spoilers.
pool.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the swimming pool where like all the drug dealers, like I went to all the places where they used to have the subterranean lab, and
Wow.
it was pretty epic. But the funniest one was like finding out of nowhere, just driving the actual camper, and I'm seeing like I saw the diorama you made, and it's super awesome, like with the little pieces of tape in the door covering
the bullet holes.
Yeah, it's so
I had
much
to do that
fun.
with tweezers, man. That's real metallic tape with tweezers.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. I remember when I was a little kid, my dad was an actor, and he had producers friends, and they would pay my brother and I to build little boats and cars, like the plastic ones that you paint and all that stuff, for them to use them in scenes to explode them, like to put explosives and do like a crappy, yeah. I remember that. I think that was my first like non-acting job. It was building a boat that they exploded. It was
That's amazing.
Yeah, dude, it was like super awesome. I gotta find the photos.
You're a special effects artist.
There you go. Without knowing it,
Put that on your resume.
There you go. Award-winning.
Wait, now you're winning awards for it. You can't just give yourself awards.
I do have an award, like a GLAAD award for a soap
That's
opera I
true.
did.
A GLAAD award, nice.
Yeah,
Man,
representing.
we're just oozing in awards over it here.
Yeah, where's your award, George?
He's got one. You got two,
You do
don't
have
you?
an award.
One or two?
George has an award for his beard. I know.
I
these
do.
by-
Yeah.
I know these by a fact.
That thing is majestic though. That is the beard of the gods.
You should do Jack every time he cuts it. You should keep it and then build a puppet with his beard. Just
that
make
would
it
smell so bad.
So
Hey, my beard doesn't smell. I wash it. I think we're off topic.
Yeah, so
here.
speaking of puppets, and this is a designer toy show, like, why haven't we seen more designer puppets? Is it just the fact that it's just a skill that many people doing independent work don't have to make puppets, or what do you think the reason behind that is?
So the puppet world is a crazy little world that I just discovered last year because I built my own puppet when I was 15, 16, and I made a little short film with it and everything. And I thought like I was the only person in the world that did this until last year. Because I was like, someday I'll work at Jim Henson and I'll be in there. And like I got this thing and I'm like, okay, this is happening. And then I met people and then I met people on Facebook and there's groups and there's a whole, like, you think toy people are crazy. You don't know nothing about puppet people, man. Puppet people, you don't mess with them because they have groups and they make things and they share stencils. And there is so many people that make designer puppets, and like they make replicas. There's how accurate is your Kermit? How accurate is your Gonzo? Did you use this foam? Did you use this felt? Did you use this?
Really?
I mean, it's amazing, and the work that they do. I mean, it's thousands of dollars worth of material and work. It's a whole other world that just amazes me. And there's also, of course, original. My puppet Chester, who's made by Noel Williams in Chicago, and she's making stuff. I mean, for everybody. Everybody's making stuff for everybody. They send each other gifts, and I mean, it's a whole other thing. I would love to get some puppet builders on ToyGeeks. That would be, and some puppeteers. That'd be really nice.
You know who makes amazing ones? She's from England. And her name is Felt Mistress. Have you seen her work?
She's great.
Dude, her stuff is amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible. And there's also Paul Vincent of Stitches and Glue.
Stitches and Glue.
Yeah, so Stitches and Glue is actually his Instagram handle. So check it out. His stuff is amazing. Well, it's actually a production house out there in the UK. So they do a lot of puppet building, mask creation for a lot of theatrical releases, stage productions, and whatnot. So, but he's actually one guy who's had pieces nominated in the Designer Toy Awards. I think there were some micro run pieces, even some one-offs, but he's one guy that I can think of that's kind of in the puppet world and the designer toy world. I know he collects, and he's definitely been nominated for some awards.
Nice.
It's out there.
Yeah, I would love for the two worlds to mesh. It's everybody loves puppets, everybody loves toys. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? We got to put them together.
Can't we all just get along?
Both of those things make everybody happy.
Let's build instead of destroying.
It is easier to play the guitar than to pull the trigger. Or is it the other way around?
On this show?
Wasn't it? It's easier to pull the trigger than to play the guitar.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So Jack, do you have what's your background? Like, what is your did you go to college for art? Did you what got you into art? Because I know, what do you consider yourself, a filmmaker, an art, like a 2D art, a 3D artist, or a filmmaker, or what's your thing?
That's why I just say entrepreneur, because it just covers everything. It's like I can't say I'm an artist. I'm also a filmmaker. I'm also a director. I also like this, and I also do this, and I build that. It's just like I just
make Pisco, or you used to.
Yeah, I used to distill. I know how to distill. I know how to do this, and so it's basically just like, yeah, man. I don't like to say jack of all trades either, because then somebody in the background always goes master of none.
Yeah.
So I changed it to just entrepreneur. There, cut it all, and then all the links are on the bottom, and that's it.
Sounds fancy too.
But yeah, I didn't go to college. They didn't let me in. They didn't want me there. I just went to high school, but I went to the Pinellas County Center for the Arts in Gibbs High School in Florida, which is like a magnet program that they created there. And they had visual arts and musical theater and everything. So I did every form of art study there, from art history to welding to photography, sculpting, 2D, 3D, everything. And then after I graduated high school, I just moved to California and just started surviving and making art. And now I'm here talking to you fine people.
Now, are you into art toys, or do you collect toys? or anything like
my
that?
my collection is really weird because, like, and I've actually talked to Ben about this because he'll show me a toy and I'm like, it's not realistic enough, and he's like, no, but it's like it's a pop and it's an art and it's a this, and it's like, yeah, but I like my toys to like be like sculpted to be like you shrunk the actual character from the movie and it's now on
you
my
would
shelf.
hate my stuff then.
But no, because of Ben basically just showing me like, no, look, this is a Funko Pop of Dorothy. I'm like, oh, she's pretty cute. I need this on my shelf. And so now I have everything. I've got everything. I got life-size Ewok, life-size BB-8. I've got a bust of Frankenstein. I've got a maquette of Jabba. I've got a pop of Clockwork Orange. I have Woody.
Nice.
From Toy Story, X-Files. I have an action figure of Jim Morrison. I have everything. Everything that I like is here.
Nice.
I was reading your bio. You are a father of 5 beautiful daughters. And
yes.
What do they think of their award-winning dad and his diorama, puppeteering, filmography, toy
they hate it all.
They're pretty awesome girls. Man.
They're so busy with their own lives that they don't. They don't even know. Like their friends care. Like they come over with their friends and wow.
Your dad makes toys.
Like, yeah, wow, look at this, and this is my favorite movie, and da-da-da. And then they're like, I haven't even seen that movie. They're like, you haven't seen it? You haven't seen? Oh, and like, I love your friends. Yeah, okay, we gotta go. Oh,
and they're like, Dad, don't embarrass me.
Yeah, and that's all it is. Like, it's just, yeah.
It all makes sense now. I get it.
Yeah, it's and it's okay. It's okay. They disappoint me. What are you gonna do?
That's what family's for.
That's what family's for. Yeah. No, they God, what do you say? They support and they love and they get excited about things, but I have to make them excited about it. It's like, guess what? We're gonna do a show. Cool. No, we're gonna do a Toy Geek show with Ben and George. Oh, cool. Like, I have to like explain the whole thing.
Nice.
All you need is a supernatural diorama and they'll be in.
Oh, Supernatural and Shadowhunters, and that's it. See, yeah. Like for Halloween, she wanted to be a character for Shadowhunters. One of them did, and she wanted me to draw runes, is what they have, like tattoos. Uh-huh. And so I'm like, yeah, give me some eyeliner and eyeliner pencil, and there you go. And so I drew all her tattoos for her. So she's like, yeah, this is great. I'm so glad you're an artist. And single teardrops, and I'm like, yay, so that kind of thing. It's like, good. Ignore me everywhere, but when I just give me that 1 second a year that I can get it, and I'm happy with it. They used to be scared of my office. That's a funny story too. When they were really little, the 13 and 14-year-old, when they were 3 and 4, they couldn't even like, because I have a picture of Alfred Hitchcock, and then next to it, it's like, why wouldn't I have like a stuffed fake crow hanging on like a branch that I made? Of course. Mm-hmm. Because and they were like, that thing comes alive and this and that, and all the eyes staring at us. So that was fun.
I have a 4-year-old, and downstairs in his room, just outside of his bedroom, I have all of the Don Bluth movies posters. But it's Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, Secret of Nim, like all of those movies.
Oh, nice.
But in every single one of those movie posters I have, there's always the villain, right? And so just the other day, my son's like, Dad, I want all those posters taken down. They're too mean. So I get it.
And and at 4 is when they realize that there's good and evil, which is an interesting age.
Yeah.
Because they my 4-year-old, she'll look and she sees an action figure and it's like, what happened? What happened to her?
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, I should put this on the top shelf now.
Yep. I would totally agree. Like the end of 3 to 4 is when like the creative minds really start kicking in. Yeah. All the great stories and whatnot. Yep.
Yeah, like it's like, look, that's a villain. Like, how do you know what a villain is? Like, it's crazy. It's amazing. And all because of the toys.
Toys.
I haven't said anything in a while. Toys.
I know, toys. Hey guys.
Yeah. So, speaking of toys. So you guys are working on the Behind the Counter. It comes out in 2 weeks, January 17th. So, or how do you guys go about selecting the toys that are being shown? Because I assume with it being a weekly show, you guys are going to have to do some really be prepared and really nail things down. So whose job is it to select and decide what toys are going to be shown on each episode?
Yeah, George and Ben are mostly in charge of the picking of what toys are going to be talked about, and then the guests are pretty much the three of us. Because I mean, we've all gotten emails about, can I be on the guest on the show? And then we just kind of bring it up, and it's like, well, we need a guest for the next one. I got one. He's ready to go. All right, well, he's next. And then so that's kind of what's been going on with that. It's been pretty easy.
Yeah, and I think the one of the ideas Ben was having was even getting involvement from the audience, even more, more so from some, like if you have a toy you want to see opened and reviewed because you want to buy it but you're not sure.
Yep.
That kind of thing. He wants people to tell us. So because then he can get the toy and nice. we can take a look at it. So it's a little more like interactive in that way, and we also want to meet new artists too. So we know a lot of people that, we want them to post on our Facebook page, check this artist out. It's like we want to discover new people that we don't even know about either.
Yeah.
Now I know when Toy Break was, it was designer toys, but as well as you guys were doing Legos and Masters of the Universe and stuff like that. What is Behind the Counter going to be? Is it going to be primarily art toys, or a little of everything?
I think it's just a little bit of everything, because the beauty of the show is the studio, which is 3D Retro, the store.
Yeah.
And so if you walk around that store, you have everything. And literally you can pick up anything from any shelf and talk about it. There's even skateboards there. They have shirts. They have plush. They have, hot toys. So I think that it's just going to be a variety of just everything. Every kind of art toy.
Man, when this show... Oh, I was going to say, when this show blows up, and it seems like it's going to, everyone's like super excited about it based on the trailer, I can see people like 3D Retro becoming kind of like a designer toy scene landmark. People are going to want to go there and get, their selfie taken by the backdrop and all that stuff. That's kind of what your apartment became, right, George?
Well, I mean, the hope is that we can get a live studio audience at some point.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, it won't happen right away, because we gotta make sure we lock down how we're doing this thing and like get our groove going. But I think eventually the goal would be, let's get some people in there and let's get people watching the show live, and we can have studio interaction. Like it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, when you
bring in that element,
it's a community. It's a whole community. We're even going to be doing charity work too, to give back to the community.
Oh, nice.
So it's an involvement of every aspect, and we're just reaching out to everything. And like George said, with having the audience, even just the selection of the audience is going to be a whole other participation event. It's like, hashtag make a drawing of us, or challenge this, or we can do whatever and pick the audience from that, or you win. You and a guest to get to come to the show recording. The store itself, once it's kind of hidden away there on Victory. They have a new sign now, so it's a really bright sign, and not a lot of people. There's not a lot of foot traffic that goes around, but it's increasing already from the sign. And once you discover that store, once you go in there and you fall in love, you never leave. Like anybody that's ever like been there for the first time, it's like, oh, I'm coming here from now on. Like this is everything.
No, I've never been there. Does 3D Retro have like sofas that you could just sit on and chill and literally spend all day there, or is it just kind of a shop you have to just?
It's a shop that you walk around. It's a shop you walk around, and they do have toy openings and events. And when that happens, the parking lot, there's a food truck
trucks.
And a dessert truck. And the last time there was a food truck and a movie screen, so it was playing a movie. And then there's going to be some tables and chairs and some board games and stuff like that for the events.
Okay, so any guy who's gone shoe shopping or clothing shopping with their significant other, you go to the mall, and there's always that section in like a female apparel shop where it's just for the guys. It's it's like like a lounge chair or something, and the guy can watch football. Is there anything like that for some of the interested in the toy scene spouses and whatnot?
Give a crap.
Yeah,
it's hard because even if you don't like toys, which I don't even know who would, but there's something, they literally, and I'm not even joking, there's something to look at for everyone.
Yeah.
There's political figures. There's even art on the wall. The wall, the actual store itself is built like an old speakeasy from the 30s. It's all made of wood and concrete and steel. So the whole thing's a piece of art.
That's pretty cool. There's an arcade machine there, like a little. Was it Miss Pac-Man or?
Yeah, it's Pac-Man. So if you get bored, you could just play video games.
Yeah, and there's like a fridge with drinks in there. You can buy like soda. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like you say, like even if you don't like toys, you'll probably start liking them.
Yeah, you'll see something you like.
So much stuff.
I just remember in the past, I would go up to the local toy store here called Red Hot Robot, and this is back when I was a single man and I had, girlfriends, and that's usually where I would like to go on a Saturday. I wanted to go Red Hot Robot and hang out for a couple hours, but my girlfriends were not into designer toys, and they were so bored so fast, every time I went there. And I would still hang out there for like 1 to 2 hours, and, I was just kind of wondering if 3D Retro looks like a very large store. I love the decor. It kind of has that distressed wood and with all the industrial piping and everything. But I just figured it was so big, it probably had like a social media section for someone who wasn't.
I think
into
that
toys.
Ben has talked about adding some little tables and chairs out front, but it's all there's permits and things that have to happen first. But I think he has talked about something like that.
If you could hang out in Red Hot Robot for 2 hours, you would have a fine time at 3D Retro.
Oh,
because I went to Red Hot Robot.
It was small.
And I could spend about 20 minutes in there before I was done. Max. Not that it was a bad store. It was a good store.
It was small.
It was definitely small, but yeah.
2 hours. I feel so bad for those ex-girlfriends, dude.
That's why they're ex-girlfriends, though.
Oh my
That's
God.
Exactly why they're exes. Yeah, that was the test.
Nobody's passing that test.
You're married now?
Yeah, he's married now.
He's only married because Red Hot Robot closed and he didn't bring anybody else there.
Oddly enough, let me think.
Great.
Was that about when we started dating? Yeah, I guess it was kind of on the tail end there. Yeah.
There you go.
He closed. He took her on a date to the store, and then it was closed, and they turned around and got married. That's what happened.
It was something like that. Yeah.
It was a sign.
So, Gary, I think one of the reasons that there's going to be such a variety of things on the show on Toy Geeks Behind the Counter is probably mostly just because the three of us we're into very different things.
Yeah.
Like each of our collections is very different from the other. So I think that in itself is going to be a big part of why different things are going to show up on the show and why such a variety. Plus, not counting if there's a guest on an episode, whatever that guest is into, or if that guest creates toys, bringing their thing on. So it's automatically going to have a big variety of things, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, which it proves because we already started talking about some toys and it was like, what? What? What are you kidding me? With that face on that toy? You'll see. You'll see.
When this show, the Behind the Counter was mentioned, I did notice a couple of people on social media kind of questioning if there's too many shows, especially after the influx of podcasts last year. And there's a couple of video casts and whatnot. Do you guys ever foresee there being too many shows, or is this just a positive thing that there's going to always be something for everybody, especially for that network you guys are talking about?
Personally, I don't think there could be. I don't think there could be too many. Because you might not watch all of them, but you can pick and choose which one you want to watch based on either if there's guests that you like or something like that, or even if it's just the personality of the people that are on it. Exactly. You might not like the personalities, so you might not watch that show. So maybe maybe there's one less for you out there than somebody else. And back in 2006 when Toy Break started, there wasn't a show. Like, that was the whole reason for starting the show, is because we wanted a podcast to listen to about toys. So yes, it's very different nowadays because it's like there's a lot more people podcasting. There's a lot more people making things. It's a lot easier to do. So there are a lot of them being made, but that I don't think that should stop someone else from doing it. And even even with Toy Geeks coming on, if someone's like, oh, I was just about to do one, but now they're doing it, it's like, well, you should still do your show.
Yeah,
right.
Like, it's because you're gonna find a different, like, anyone that can help introduce more people to this scene is a good thing.
Yep.
We need more people.
Right.
So if
we're all connected in the same realm here, yeah.
Yeah, and if we can find someone that that maybe finds us and gets around to the scene, that's great, and that's what we need to do. So, more shows the better, I think, because everybody's going to know different people. They're going to bring their friends in, and that might turn them on to designer toys. So, I say go for it. I say let's everybody make a show.
That's a beautiful answer. Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the same. You're saying there's too many books, there's too many movies, there's too many songs, there's too many TV shows. We love variety. That's what we live for.
Yeah.
I think I have a game idea, fellas.
No.
Yeah. So we just mentioned there's a bunch of podcasts and other video shows. Why don't we each go around, that game where you each say one, and whoever can't get one loses. I'll start.
All right.
I'll pick one of the harder ones.
You're out already. You haven't even started.
No, okay, the collection. The collection.
Oh, that was mine, dude.
Carlos, go.
Wait, so what does he have to say?
You have to name a podcast, a video show, something, one of the, the toy-related shows that we've been talking about, that there's too many of, or a lot of.
Okay. But I wouldn't say there's too many.
No, there's not too many. I was saying there's been an influx of them. I thought the game would be fun to try to name them all, and wherever we stop.
I think we've already failed. This game is just like your other games.
Oh,
an enormous failure.
I could rattle off
crumbling.
7.
It's crumbling from the inside out.
It doesn't help that I don't watch any of those shows.
You got the collection, Urban Vinyl Daily Wrap.
Wait, I'm gonna name one. Let me do one.
Oh, I thought the game was over.
Albotus.
What?
Do you remember Albotus? Are they still a show?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Come on, you don't even remember Albotus? They were around for a while.
You just opened a whole other can of worms, didn't you?
Pitu Papo. That's a guy from Miami that opens toys and is pretty.
It was
wild.
a little bit on the awesome side. I think it was the name Albotus.
Albotus.
This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Wow, you're a bad podcaster.
Wow,
bad podcaster.
You don't even know your toy history.
Is it Old Testament or New Testament?
What about the Interesting Hour? Have you heard that one?
Interesting Hour? No.
Nope.
What about Dragon's Lair Deluxe?
Are you guys browsing on the internet?
I just made that one up.
I'm thinking they're throwing names out and we're just gonna bite and say that we like it, and they're gonna go, "You guys are idiots."
Yeah.
I have not. All of mine are real.
None of mine are real.
All right, George, I can flip it right back on you. Going New Age. Have you ever heard of the Blind Box?
Yeah, of course.
Have you heard of For the Masses?
Yep. Aren't they on the same network? I went to that network channel and it's a bunch of squares and it looks awful. And I was like, this is confusing and terrible. And
Have you ever heard of?
And I left. The story had to finish with him leaving.
What about
he stormed out the room? Boom.
Yeah, and flipped the table.
Yeah.
What about Toys Aplenty?
I have not heard of that. Did you make that up?
I did make that up. Well, there's also the Super Suck Lord Hour, the Super Suck Hour.
You know, I can honestly say I have not watched that one yet,
Oh,
and I feel like
so
I
good.
feel like crap because but the problem is it's a video show, and I want to watch it.
No.
I don't want to just listen.
Just
all
listen.
my stuff I listen to are podcasts.
Just listen. I listened from work, and every once in a while I'll click over to see what they're talking about. But you can easily listen to that show, and the visual. I'm sure the visual helps it, but it's just as great without the visual.
Well, my problem is my sculpting area doesn't have a computer at it. So like I'd have to do it on my phone. I guess maybe I can do YouTube on my phone, right?
Yeah, you can do. But it's
Did you just ask if you could do YouTube on your phone?
I think I'm old. All right, I'm like Grandpa Gaspar over here, and I don't know what's going on.
There's no thinking about it. You are.
You get yourself on the interwebs and clickety-click.com.
Yeah, I guess I'll pull it up on my phone and listen at work. I guess I want to hear it because I want to watch the show.
Yeah, then
you gotta add me. You gotta add me to your MySpace, George. Make sure you add me there.
Oh.
Hey, I'm still on it, and I still put a lot of dazzling sparkles on my page.
All the HTML coding.
Yeah.
There's also the Master of One podcast. That's another one they're not, full time, kind of like we are. They're kind of have a sprinkling of toy artists and toy talk every once in a while, but that's another one that's kind of out there.
What's the one where they play half of it and then you got to pay for the rest? And I'm like, nope, and I just never listen again.
That's the collection, and that one's frustrating for that reason.
You gotta pay for it.
You got to pay for it.
Well, you only have to pay for half. If you want to listen to when they actually start talking, they just bullshit in the beginning for like a half hour, and that's free. And then when they start talking, they're like, oh, if you want to hear the good stuff, you got to pay us. And I'm like,
when they start talking about the stuff that you want to hear, it fades off. And I would buy some of the episodes, but I just want to pay for the episode. I don't want to pay for the other 45 that network, Adventures in Design does. You're paying for all adventure and design episodes. Like you're not just paying for the one. I think it's like, I forget, maybe $15 a month, maybe 10. I forget, but
not bad.
Yeah, you're no Netflix people. Get over yourself.
I had to pay George $20 just to be on your show.
Oh, you weren't supposed to tell him that.
That's it. I mean, we were talking about how many followers we had earlier. Like we should probably be paying you.
I want my cut.
That's not right.
Now I gotta share it with them. Damn it, Jack.
That's like 4,000 pesos, man.
Yeah. But going back to saying that there's a lot of shows, I think all the shows that we just named, just rattled off, I think all of the shows have helped introduce and brought knowledge to people who probably aren't familiar with our toy scene, and I think that's a good thing. So like you said, the more, the better.
The merrier.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw out Big Kev's Geek Stuff because you can't forget about those. Those guys have been around for 10 years as well. They started in 2006. It's been a long time going. They've been doing that stuff, and they do a lot more designer toys. They didn't in the beginning. It was more mainstream toy, Star Wars, that kind of stuff, comic books, movies. But now they collect designer toys now too. So they talk about a lot of it. So that's a good one as well.
And if you like designer toy reviews, there's coartmag.com. They do a lot of great video reviews too. So that's another one.
Oh, you got me on one I hadn't seen.
Oh, Nick Curtis of Clutter. He's done
Trust Pigs?
Yeah, Trust Pigs. This is his thing.
I haven't seen
check
that.
out coartmag.com. It's really well done.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think is it lightning round time? We're gonna do a lightning round, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Is it gonna hurt?
It's gonna hurt you, Jack, because lightning round is all for you.
Only if you don't relax enough.
All right, Jack, stretch out, get ready, prepare your mind. We're gonna hit you with some hard questions.
Stretch it out.
Oh.
What was your favorite toy as a child?
Snake Eyes G.I. Joe. Ding.
What was your first designer toy purchase?
I gotta look around the room. I don't know if you would consider that designer toy.
Were most of them given to you by Ben?
Yeah.
You could consider that a purchase. You could say which one was given. What was your first designer toy?
What would you? Well, I have no idea. Well, no, you know what? Cigarette Smoking Man, a 12-inch Sideshow Collectibles figure I bought in like 2004, I think. I think that's the first like big toy I got. That wasn't an action figure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a 12-inch doll, like one of those?
Yeah, with like he's got a
cigarette
tie and
smoking
everything.
man?
Yeah. He's got a tie. He's got a cigarette in his hand.
Here's an old white guy in a suit. Have fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And I paid like 100 something for it, like back in the day. And it was like, like you look at the quality of the toys that exist now, it's like that's like nothing like this. But yeah, that was the first like big toy that I got that I was like, this is a collectible. That's not an action figure. That was it. Yep.
What was the toy that made you kind of want to get into either puppeteering or diorama? Was there something that you saw maybe as a youth that made you like want to get into toys?
It was puppet eyes. They're like peepers, I think they're called.
Is that the thing you put on your finger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got those. And then I built a puppet around that. Basically, I had like a marching band white glove, and I put it on, and I put the little peeper eyes on, and that's how it started making that. And then I sewed like hands to it and all that other stuff. So that's where that came from.
Nice.
Okay. Hold on, I got distracted.
Oh.
Sorry, he wasn't not paying attention.
Someone sent a link that I had to click on. What is is there one toy that never leaves your shelf, move after move? It's always going to be out.
It's the one built into his shelf, right? I mean,
All of them.
Is there a toy that's on the shelf of your heart? How about that?
Damn,
Yeah. Dang, he just went there.
Getting deep in here.
Who would that be? I think it would be my big Jabba the Hutt maquette. Yeah.
Did you use the vintage Jabba or the new one that came out?
It's this. I bought this at Spencer's in the mall for like $300. I put it on layaway back in 1998 in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it's like limited with the certificate of authenticity and the numbers, and it comes in a wood base, and it's like, what is it like? It's like 3 feet long. That thing.
Nice.
Yeah, he's like foam and like latex.
You actually shopped at Spencer's for the right reasons. The only time I ever went to Spencer's when I was a kid was if you go into the back, they had the half naked lady poster section.
The girly posters.
That was the only time I went into Spencer's was for that, and they had like all these. They had like a little adult section with like adult playing cards and like weird cards for like 40-year-olds and stuff. That was kind of like the unforbidden section, like the
glow-in-the-dark
posters. Taboo section.
Where do you think I got my Heather Thomas pink bikini poster?
Oh, Heather! I had the same poster. I think I got a BJ and the Bear poster there.
That's a different movie.
No, BJ and the Bear. Remember those?
That's a different show.
The two twins on that show.
And coming up next.
I can't think. Yeah, Heather Thomas. Wow. Flashback. All right. Was there a toy you wish you made?
I wish that someone would have made what is it? In Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, when he's got the white hair and the red outfit. Yeah. I want an action figure of that, and I want a Robert De Niro, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Oh, nice.
I want like NECA to make those.
Or maybe
no one's ever made that Dracula before.
You know what? Sideshow made it, right? Like no, or Hot Toys, one of those.
I wanted to because they made the Dracula when he's like a werewolf, and they made him as Dracula when he's like the vampire on a box, and they came out as a set, and I have that, but they don't have him as like old man, yeah.
Grand Moff Dracula.
Oh boy.
What's your current favorite toy?
Current favorite toy? I would say my BB-8. Okay. I got the BB-8 from 3D Retro, and I painted it screen accurate paint job. So I weathered it and everything, and he lights up and makes noises and stuff. So he's pretty cool.
Is this the Spiro version?
No, he's like what? He's like 2 feet tall.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's like a movie size?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
That's impressive. All right, is there a toy out there that you've always wanted to have, but you haven't quite procured it yet?
I actually have an Amazon wish list of those.
So, any sugar daddies want to give us some toys?
Okay, so there's one. I'm actually gonna go to my wish list right now to tell you, because I was actually just talking about this a couple of days ago. We watched Lord of the Rings again. We have a annual Lord of the Rings marathon in the house. And it's the ring wraith, the fell beast, and it's got like a wingspan.
Which version of it? Which company?
Where is it? Lord of the Rings deluxe posable fell beast, 19 inches by 12 inches by 6 inches, and it's the Nazgul flying. And it doesn't say what company it is. Toy Biz, it says. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So Toy Biz.
It's huge, and it's like now big. It's like a collectible, so you can't get it, and it's like Amazon's like overpriced, and it's just insane everywhere, and so that's the one that I just like, my white whale. But I have like 3 pages of Amazon wishlist toys that I need to get.
Here's the thing: this is probably the main difference between men and women. is you mentioned the Amazon wish list, and I know, like, a lot of the probably like Kim Kardashians and a lot of the popular feeds of women. Sometimes they'll put their little Amazon wish lists out there, and there's pervy guys that will buy them everything on their wish list.
Oh, wow.
We need a fan base where we could post our Amazon list, and they buy those toys for us.
So that's going to be a Toy Geek section.
Yeah.
Coming out next month.
Pervy guys.
We want pervy guys buying us toys.
Yeah,
I'll take it. That's fine with me.
Take it.
Yeah, I'm okay with I'm okay with a pervy guy buying me a Dark Crystal Lance Strider statue for $400. No problem.
Daddy likes.
It was $777, so it did price drop. Jeez.
Oh,
I think we need to make this a video cast and start showing some skin, boys.
Yeah. Do you have a headshot, Jack?
It'll just be a bunch of close-up of beards.
Let's just go ahead and make a calendar for next year.
There you go. Toy calendar.
I think it's we already got the first page is on Gary Ham Instagram right here.
The three amigos.
Craving bold and spicy Mexican, head east.
Right. There you go.
That's the cover.
Stay tuned. More billboards coming.
There you go.
We're going to pump them out all across the country. Be on the lookout.
One coming to your neighborhood soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best picture I've ever seen, by the way.
It's pretty awesome, dude. That was the Comic-Con in New York years ago.
I got to say, it's been a hell of fun making these photo mesh images for promotion because, man, George, how many beards have I seen you? Like from just goatee to beard to like
the G.
So many different looks. And then Carlos, I don't know what's going on. I swear one of these times I'm going to end up using your brother. And because I still sort of can't tell the difference between you guys.
Oh boy. It's okay. If you do, it's okay. You'll be funny.
But yeah, no, thanks for joining us, Jack. It's been a lot of fun. And
I had a great time, and it was a blast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. You said it starts Behind the Counter starts January 17th. So stay tuned.
It's going to be beautiful.
And then lots of stuff planned for the Marsham Toy Hour this month, guys. Next month, next week, Rutherford will be joining us again. I think we're going to go a little more probably nostalgic on that one. He was, looks like he's going to be moving, so he's been packing up a lot of his toys, and he's been getting very nostalgic. And I think we're probably just going to kind of touch back in the heyday, go that route with next week. And then after that, the week after that, Paul Kaiju is going to be joining us. And then the week after that, we have Jim Crawford from Strange Co.
One of the OGs.
One of the OGs. He's probably one of the main guys responsible for bringing, what they called Hong Kong vinyl to the States. And he was one of the two guys behind Strange Co. Produced tons of toys. Had a shop out there in San Francisco. So we're gonna catch up with him, find out what he's doing now, and then talk to him about his time in the designer toys. So, big month planned. So it's going to be exciting.
Sweet.
Woo. All right. So why don't we take a brief moment and everyone tell our listeners where they can find you. You go first, Jack.
I can be found, I have my personal website, jackventuro.com, where you can find every link to everything. But if you want just movies, it's venturoproductions.com. And if you want just art, it's jackorama.com.
Okay. George.
I feel like every time I see you post, there's like 15 other things. Like there's
so
only those
things.
3.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because there's also projects, the movies, like, the X-Files spec script is in there and all that other stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Just
there's
go look.
There's a lot of hidden Easter eggs in your
there's a movie. There's a movie where Ben plays a cameo there. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes like Art Jack will post, and then like Production Jack will like the picture and share
it. Because I take one hat off, I put the other one on, and it's like, hey, I like this picture.
He's got multiple personality disorder right there.
I have to support myself. Who else is gonna?
Exactly. If you don't like the picture, who's gonna?
No, my favorite is when Jackorama tags Venturo Productions. That's my favorite.
Nice. He's like, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
Telling yourself to like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that even happens to you, Carlos. Like last night, I got added from Chamaco about a pennant. I'm thinking, did Carlos just forget to switch accounts? Or did Chamaco really know I wanted to see that? I'm confused.
He knows everything.
Chamaco is the one moving he's the puppeteer, man. Have you heard of the Illuminati? He's the man, dude.
He's the Godfather.
Godfather, dude.
He's keeping Carlos up.
Yeah.
Is there a dissected Chamaco in the works?
I could ask Jason Freeney.
Yeah, let's get on that, okay?
Let's get on that because there's not enough dissected stuff.
He's got to be out of other things by now, right?
Yeah, right. Although to be, fair, he did make that little Lego fetus baby, like Chrome. It was pretty cool. Did you see it?
Where's the dissected version? I don't want to I don't want to hold it.
I want the dissected. I want to see the bones.
Who doesn't want to see the bones?
Yeah.
All right, George, where can people find you?
At George Gaspar on Twitter, and just search me on Google or there. You'll find me.
You'll find me. Don't search me on Google.
Google Lemon Party.
No, don't Google that. Anyone listening, do not Google that.
Oh, dude, I did that joke at work. One of my coworkers never heard of it, and he was traumatized. Sorry.
I've never heard of it, and I'm terrified to search it. But
don't say it. It's just a silly video from the web, from the 90s. Mm-hmm. You can find Chamaco at My Name is Chamaco, and you can find me and my brother at the Beast Brothers. That's it. Just type.
When are we gonna get your brother on the show? We got to hear the dirt on you.
Yeah, right?
We need to have the alternate twins episode where it's just me talking to your guys' twins.
Yeah, there you go. Talking the shit. Let's do it.
Let's twin swap it. Let's swap you out for Ernesto one time.
That sounds like a movie with what's the movie with the twins?
Twins?
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito?
No, dude. Well, yeah.
You talking about the Mandy Moore one or what's her name?
Moore. Yeah.
Parent Trap.
Parent Trap.
No, that's not Mandy Moore.
That's Lindsay Lohan.
That's
the girl, Lindsay Lohan. That's the one I was thinking of.
Totally different girl.
That's the one I was thinking.
Nah,
you know what? Let's stay with the Danny DeVito and then Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, let's go with that twin.
That's going to be a future promo image, I think.
There you go.
There you go.
I want to be Danny. I love Danny DeVito.
All right, I'm Gary Ham. You can find me at superham.com or Gary Ham on Instagram. This has been the Marsham Toy Hour. We'll be back next week, not because we have to, but because we want to. Until our next transmission, we're signing off. Bye.
I like that exit.
That was pretty.
You like that?
That was pretty good.